Greetings, one and all. You guys seem to like my NHL 11 rating video, so I figured we should use the powers of hindsight once again and jump ahead 2 years from our previous video, as we take a look at 6 NHL players who didn't live up to their NHL 13 rating, either during the year of the game's release or in the seasons that followed. Number 6, Rene Bourque, 84 overall. Bourque had begun to find consistency in the NHL, having played in the league for several years by the time NHL 13 was released. This was shown in full force as he scored 108 points over 2 seasons with the Calgary Flames between 2009 and 2011. Bourque's NHL 13 rating of 84 seemed rather low considering his previous numbers, but 84 was given to him as his production dropped during the 11-12 season to only 18 goals and 24 points in 76 games, which was split between the Calgary Flames and the Montreal Canadiens. After his NHL 13 rating, Bourque's consistency and career-high numbers seemed to just vanish overnight, as he never put up more than 18 points in his next 7 NHL seasons, and so adopted a bottom 6 role on the next several teams he played for in that span. Bourque seems to have finished his NHL career last season with the Colorado Avalanche, as he signed a 1-year contract in the Swedish Hockey League this season. Looking back at it all, 84 was more than generous for how things went for Rene Bourque, but at the time it seemed rather ridiculous considering the last few seasons he had had. Here's hoping the Swedes treat Rene Bourque well, because it doesn't seem like he was getting much luck in North America. Ah well, at least the meatballs are good in Sweden, or is that just IKEA? Number 5, Nathan Horton, 85 overall. Horton followed the ideal route of an NHL player by increasing his point totals with every year he played in the league until he hit a consistent level. Horton's second season with the Boston Bruins during the 11-12 season saw his lowest point total in almost 10 years, as he picked up 17 goals and 32 points in a season limited to just 46 games played for the Bruins winger due to concussions. However, EA Sports deemed Horton worthy of an 85 overall rating for his efforts. What started as a dip in his production became a regular occurrence for Horton, as he only had 22 points and 19 points in his next 2 seasons respectively. This reduced production coincided with a string of concussions and a career-ending back injury that has kept Horton on long-term injured reserve, where he was traded to the Maple Leafs as cap relief rather than a fully fledged player. Fun fact, thanks to a 7-year contract he signed with the Blue Jackets in 2013, Horton is still getting paid until the year 2020. This is obviously not the way that any hockey player wants to end his career, but look on the bright side. Horton has been paid to sit on his arse and do absolutely nothing for years. Gah, I wish I could have a job like that. Without the career-ending injury, of course. Wait, isn't that essentially how I earn my ad revenue on these videos? Number 4, Derrick Roy, 86 overall. Derrick Roy exploded into the league with the Buffalo Sabres in the 05-06 season and had at least 63 points in 4 out of his first 5 NHL seasons. Roy picked up his 86 rating in NHL 13 due to a 17-goal, 44-point season in what became his last season with the Buffalo Sabres. Roy's point production was pretty much halved compared to his previous numbers from the 10-11 season onwards. Someone who was once a top point producer lost his shine as Roy spent the 12-13 season split between the Dallas Stars and the Vancouver Canucks, where he picked up 28 points in 42 games. Then began the years where Roy signed a string of 1-year contracts with the likes of the St. Louis Blues, Nashville Predators and Edmonton Oilers, where he had over 30 points once and scored no more than 11 goals in a season. Not the biggest fall from grace the league has ever seen, but not the way anyone wanted to see Roy bow out of the league. Last I heard, Roy was playing with SC Bern a year or 2 ago. Now, if I'm honest, seeing Roy's last few years in the NHL are the biggest burn of them all. Get it? Get it, burn? I write all of my own material, can you tell? Number 3, Matt Carle, 86 overall. Matt Carle had put up some good season numbers before NHL 13's release, with 2 40-plus point seasons in 5 years. However, he was very inconsistent at times, with a 15-point, 24-point and 35-point seasons in those 5 seasons also. The 12-13 season saw Matt Carle notch 22 points on the board, and he was given his rather high 86 rating in NHL 13 due to his defensive skills and previous season totals rather than his current numbers. After his rating, Carle's ability to score points took a huge nosedive as he picked up totals of 18 points and 9 points in the next 2 seasons, hugely damaging his value to his team and around the league in the process. Carle's NHL career had been put on life support at this point, and after a 6-game stint with the Nashville Predators last season where he only had 1 assist, Carle's NHL career was finally pronounced dead and laid to rest. Sometimes giving a high rating to a player makes complete sense, but Matt Carle in 2013 was not one of those people, it seems. Number 2, Michalek, 86 overall. A more defensive-orientated two-way defenseman who has put up respectable numbers in the past, Michalek is a tough player to determine whether he is deserving of his rating because the score sheet doesn't reflect his contribution to a team. However, I couldn't find anyone to replace him, so here he is. Michalek had multiple 20-plus point seasons with the Phoenix Coyotes towards the start of his career. His success took him to the Pittsburgh Penguins for the 10-11 season, where his numbers gradually started to decline, and in the 11-12 season, Michalek put up 13 points in 62 games, which seemed to give EA Sports reason enough to give him an 86 rating. Michalek then seemed to completely forget how to put points on the board and how the point system worked in the NHL, as he never put up more than 10 points in his next 5 NHL seasons. Michalek's NHL career seems to have ended with a 3-game stint with Arizona last season, but with no change in production in sight, it looks like Michalek will be remembered as a defensive defenseman rather than a strong two-way player he was earlier in his career. At least you know what you are getting with a player like Michalek, a strong defensive mind who will contribute nothing offensively. At least you know where he stands. Honesty is the best policy after all, boys and girls. And number 1, Ryan Miller, 92 overall. Ryan Miller had been an absolute stud for the Buffalo Sabres before NHL 13, notching at least 30 wins in each of his last 5 NHL seasons before the game was released, with most recently a 31-win season in 11-12. The NHL 13 devs decided to reward Miller's consistency in the Buffalo crease with a 92 rating, making him the highest rated goalie in the entire game, narrowly surpassing the New York Rangers goaltender Henrik Lundqvist. After the game was released, what was once an assurance of 30 wins a season for the Sabres netminder quickly became a distant memory, as during the following season, Miller had 15 wins in 40 games with the Buffalo Sabres before being traded to the St. Louis Blues. Miller then signed with the Vancouver Canucks for the 14-15 season and had a strong showing in his first year there, with 29 wins in 45 games, but since then hasn't won more than 18 games in a season. With his consistent 30-win seasons a thing of the past, and him being way past his prime, Miller is currently the backup goaltender in the Anaheim Ducks organisation, where he spends most game days on the bench with an Anaheim Ducks hat on. He may not be playing much anymore, but at least he gets to look cool while on the bench. Plus, he's getting paid millions of dollars to sit there most games, so it's not all bad, is it? And there you go! Those were 6 players who didn't live up to their NHL 13 rating. What do you think about these choices? Were they good, bad, or can you think of someone that I missed? Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear what you guys think. But thank you very much for watching, guys. I hope you have enjoyed. Please feel free to like, subscribe, share, or watch some of my other videos. Thank you very much for watching, and goodbye!